I know a lot of persons out there are sitting down and they're probably thinking the same thing. They're in a job right now and they're wondering, am I going to be able to make it through with this job? Whether or not you're working in psych, you're working in the emergency room, and you're wondering how to go about with quitting, because I've come across a lot of videos online. You have new graduates who are leaving their job. They've just completed orientation and they're asking themselves, should I leave? They're posting online, and for some strange reason, us on the internet, we're not helping them. We're not giving them much information as to, how to go about with leaving, because I see some persons are saying, yes, go ahead and leave now. Some persons are saying that there is a 1-year rule. But for me, I think it all depends on the situation. So basically, which one is it? Which is correct? Is there a right answer to it? And to me, it's very simple. It all depends on your situation. Everybody is going through different things happening in their life that is contributing to why they're feeling like they should quit. And so we're going to go through different possibilities as to why persons are thinking about quitting, especially our new graduates. Because we don't want it to be a case where it seems as though every time something becomes uncomfortable in your job, you feel like you want to run. Because sometimes, those hard situations that you're dealing with in your job, those are the ones that are making you strong. Those are the ones that are building you. Those situations are what you need to grow. And you don't want it to be a case where every time something gets hard, you're picking up your things and you're leaving. So let's just talk about it. So what I'm really seeing online on a lot of pages is a lot of persons saying that they're leaving the emergency room. And these include persons who are just starting out. I've seen where persons in the emergency room are saying that, they're literally showing up before their shift and they're feeling sick, really, really sick. And I mean, like, how is it even possible? I know it's possible, but my word, I love emergency rooms. So I was just thinking that, oh no, some persons are saying that they're working in psych and they are, leaving within 1 month because they don't have the support. Some persons are saying they're working for 7 months and they're wondering if they made a mistake. If it is affecting their family life or their mental health, then definitely they can actually leave. But then another person was saying that they work 3 back-to-back shift, 12-hour shift, and they felt like, they want to leave. And that one wasn't anything that bad. But it all depends on the situations that you're in. You understand? It's how you feel based on the situations that you're in. So you have to find out what situation you're in, and then from there, try to make that decision. In the end, the decision that you make now will affect you later on in your career. So let's look at like the environment. You understand? And I'm not talking about when it's short staff sometimes, because everywhere in America here, it is short staff. That's just how nursing is right now. So if you decide to go to California, New York, Georgia, they're always short staff. Patients' life are at risk, and that's just how the situations are. Are you at risk? You understand? If you feel as though you're at risk and you feel like you want to leave, then that's just how it is. Go. Nothing is wrong with it. You understand? If you find out that the situation is dangerous and you feel as though you want to leave, then that's just it. You don't owe it to any hospital or any institution your license. You understand? Your peace of mind, your safety, that is what is most important. The next thing, when it comes on to your preceptor, a lot of times we have some preceptors that are very toxic. Yes, we have some preceptors that are very toxic and they're bad for you. And if you find out that you have a preceptor that is not going to be making you confident and they're breaking you down, then definitely you want to make sure you leave that environment, because you have some persons that can challenge you, but as I say, you have some that will tear you down. So if in weeks you're doing your orientation and you're feeling less confident than how you started off, then definitely something is wrong. That environment is just not for you. And if you feel as though you want to leave that kind of environment, me not see nothing wrong with it. Next thing is, and then the other part about it is that when you show up and you're feeling anxious all the time, yes, nothing is wrong with you being anxious, but when you're feeling anxious and you dread going to work, that's 2 different things. You understand? Because one of them sharpens you and one of them drains the living life out of you. And you need to know the difference between the 2 of them. Nothing is wrong with you feeling anxious every day when you're going to work, because as a new grad, definitely. But when it comes on to you having a mental breakdown, yes, that is a problem. You have some of us who cry. You understand? I'm not talking about the cry when you get out, you finish your shift and you cry about it. All of us, we went through that. I'm talking about the days when you're off and you spent it lying down, dreading the next shift because you don't want to go in, because it's just so awful at work. Your family members know that there is something wrong with you because you're not yourself anymore. I've seen where persons are saying that they've been sitting in like parking lots for like 20 minutes trying to find like the strength to get into work. I read where there was another nurse who said she was working in like a level 1 trauma center. Her patient ratio was like a 1-to-6. She was boarding like ICU patients, and she lasted for like a year and a half, which was not bad, but she eventually crashed out and then she left. Even on her off day, she said she was actually sitting down at home worrying about her patients, and she never really wanted to go in for work the next day. And that's not us saying that nursing is hard, because yes, nursing is hard, but that is not nursing being hard. It's just not sustainable. And if you are a broken nurse, there's no way you can actually show up for your patients who deserve you to take care of them the way they want you to if you are already broken. That is not a part of nursing. That is not a part of nursing. We have to start taking care of ourselves first. And if you find yourself in a situation like that, that is not self-care, because you cannot be pouring from an empty cup. We need to be pouring from cups that are like, full and overflowing, so our patient can get better care. And that's just it. Oh, remember to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page at Think Nursing. Turn that notification bell on so you can see more content related to nursing, travel, and real stories in nursing. All right? Okie dokie. All right. So I know that a lot of persons out there don't feel like they want to quit, don't have the urge to quit, especially our new grads. Yes, the discomfort of being a new grad, it's there. It happens to everybody in their job. Whether or not in nursing, teaching, being a police officer, discomfort is out there, and it's not something to be ashamed of. You're going to feel like, especially as nurses, because you have to do procedures, you're going to feel uncomfortable when people are looking at you. You're going to feel uncomfortable when you're making mistakes. That's a part of growth. And if in 2 months you don't get it, you're going to feel overwhelmed. It's normal. 3 months are the same thing. You're unsure and you still don't know. It's normal. 6 months, 1 year in, it's still a part of nursing, still experience you're getting. So I know a lot of persons, them pick up themselves and they're leaving and they say, oh, I'm going to go somewhere else. And guess what? That same feeling that they have, they bring it along in the next job. And they think that they're going to get over it. No, but it go along with them. But one thing I want us to ask ourselves is it really the job that is causing us to leave? Or is it something else that is causing us to not want to continue? Because a lot of times we don't really find our footing in nursing as yet. And that is 2 things that we need to think about. You understand? That is 2 things that we need to think about. Is it the job, or is it us not finding our footing in nursing? Even so, if you want to leave your job, you have to do it the right way. And so let's just talk about how we're going to do that. The number 1 thing is find out what job you're going to be going into. You make sure have something lined up before you go. All right, you don't want to be leaving and don't have something to be going in. Because when it comes on to gaps in nursing, it's harder to explain your gaps as a new grad. You want to make sure that you have a smooth transition. The next thing is when it comes on to your termination or resignation, make sure you check your policy at your facility. Whether or not it is 2 weeks or 4 weeks, make sure you find out. Because you don't want to leave on a wrong note, because that's, they can flag you. You want to make sure you protect your name, protect your brand. Yes. The next thing, even if it is 1 month, 2 months, all of that experience, it still counts. It still counts, so make sure you're doing things the right way. You can still pivot with your 1 month. You can still grow with your 1 month. I've seen nurses, they leave early and they still grow, still become DNPs. They still go on to become medical doctors later on if that's what they wanted to do. You understand? Do it the right way. Leave professionally. Don't burn your bridges behind. Because nursing is very small, You might feel as though it's a big profession, but it's very small. Because managers, they move around and them chat enough. You understand? Them cross paths regularly. Oh my word, that car. Yeah, the cross paths regularly. So it's okay for you to leave your job, but make sure you think about different reasons why you want to leave. Is it because the environment is just toxic? Is it because of the mental health, your mental health? Is it because of safety reason? Is it a case where you think you've outgrown what that place has to offer you? And if you can find your answer and you truly believe that, yes, you answer it on one of those, you find yourself in one of those, and you want to leave, then definitely send in your resignation. You understand? But remember that your first job, it always helps with identifying the kind of nurse you're gonna be, what you can tolerate, the environment that you can be in. So basically, wherever you are right now, whether or not you're staying, you're deciding, or you're leaving, basically you are gonna be okay, and I mean it. You are gonna be okay. As one door opens or closes, them always say another one what shuts or open. So there is always gonna be space. And every job out there, wherever you go, it might need, or it's gonna need somebody like you. You will fit into that job. All right, you will fit into that job, and that's just it. So that job might not be your environment, but there is going to be an opening for somewhere else that will fit your personality and your skill set. All right, remember to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page and turn that notification bell on and be a part of the Think Nursing page, where we talk a lot about nursing over here. I want you to go ahead and take care of yourself, and go ahead and leave in the comment box below. How long did you stay in your first job as a nurse, and why did you leave? Yes, go ahead and tell me why you leave. How long you stayed in your first job as a nurse, and why did you leave? All right, until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.